is 2. Similarly, you can see at 0 price, quantity is 12. And if you connect those lines, it's like that. So look at that one. From where the curve coming? Up to down or down to up?
Up to down.
Right? So we can say that the demand is downward sloping curve. So many students, they are confusing, what do we mean by downward sloping? Downward sloping means like this. You are connecting the dots from left to right, and it is like that. You are going down. So it is called downward sloping curve. Understand? A very logical and basically one standard or two fifth standard questions that should come to your mind is that why we are taking price on y-axis and quantity on x-axis. Why is that? Why don't we replace the amount, replace the position? Why not we have quantity here and price here? Can anybody answer me? And that is a very logical question.
Because the price and the quantity demand has a relation, isn't it? When the price is low, like when the zero is at the bottom of the axis, the y-axis, and the quantity will have a lot. You know what I mean?
That doesn't make sense.
Sorry, I think I just confused with myself.
So this is a 5th grade standard question and you are confused, right? So because economists all over the world speaks the same language of economy, the same language of economics. So if you tell me, if you are in Laos and you tell me, sir, demand, so that demand, I 100% receive the word demand that is in economics. So I don't consider, okay, you are talking about demand in marketing language, in accounting language, or in my local language. Because economics has its own language, demand, supply. So if I am economist in Pakistan, you are in Laos. If we are talking about demand, it means we actually understand each other. Whether I don't understand the Laos language, you don't understand the Pakistani language, but we do understand what is demand, right? It means economists standardized everything, right? So it means there is no logic that why we pasted this price on the y-axis, Q on the x-axis. It is international convention, so that my Pakistan demand would be like this and your demand is like this. So it is downward sloping. So if I say this curve, okay, this is from Laos and this is from Pakistan, so it automatically means that the fundamental relationship are that here would be price, here would be quantity, so that we can compare easily, right? So there is no logic that why we took a price on the y-axis, why there is x-axis. It is how we make internationally. It is a jargon, it is convention, okay, right? So we make a standardized format and we say that, okay, if we talk about demand, it means in Pakistani demand or in Laos demand or in Cuba or whatsoever. If economists are talking about this demand and showing you some curves, so it automatically means that on y-axis it is price, on x-axis it is quantity. Understand that?
I understand, sir. Sorry for confusing of my mind.
No, don't be sorry. Ask a question. No question is stupid question. Everything is question. Do ask. Okay, right? So now question is whether this curve follows the law of demand or not. You see, price decreased from 2 to 1.5. So on that one, the quantity increased from 4 to 6. So it means price decrease, quantity demanded increase. So it follows the law of demand. Correct. So we have developed the definition of demand curve. Number one, demand curve is downward sloping. Number two, demand curve, the relationship of demand curve is that, sorry, the definition of demand is that the price decreases, quantity demanded rises. Third definition, it is the willingness and ability to buy the goods. So we can define demand with different perspective. Right, guys? And now it comes the market demand versus individual demand. Up till now, what we have studied, the Catherine example, one person example. Here, Catherine wants to buy the ice cream. Let me just remove. So Catherine wants to buy, this is her demand curve. Okay, if the price is 0, she wants to buy 12, price 0.5, she wants to buy 10, 1, 8, at 3. She said, okay, it's too much expensive. I don't want to buy this. It better I should move to some other choices, right? So this is just one Catherine example, right? From the book. What about the market demand? So in the market, there are a number of consumers, right? So market demand refers to the sum of all the individuals' demand for a particular goods or services. So it means there are Catherine, there is Jamal, there is Mirko, there is PD, there is Firanan, there is Amar, right? And they all want to buy, and their willingness and ability is different, right? If the price was 0, Catherine wants to buy it. How much? 20 ice creams. But maybe for me, I can only, if even the ice cream is free, I just only want to buy 2 or 3 because I don't want to consume too much sugar. Right? Every person has its own demand schedule, own willingness and ability. So here we go. What if we have Nicholas? So one more customer in the market who is willingly, but you see, if the price is 0, he wants to buy, he can only digest 7, but Catherine wants to buy 12. Sorry, not 20, 12. So Catherine's demand is to his own will and ability. Nicholas' demand has to do with his own will and ability. Right? So what is the market demand? The sum of all the consumers or all the clients or all the buyers in the market. So at the price 0, the market consumes
Close to 19.
Right, guys? So
Yep.
at price 2.5, so where does 4 come from? Catherine wants to buy 2, Nicholas wants to buy 2 as well. And if we want to draw the market demand curve, so market demand curve is a relationship of price and the market demand, not the Catherine demand, not the Nicholas demand, market demand. So it's easy for you, simple. So so this is Catherine's demand. This is, if you add all these, so this is the market demand. So you see a shape, different changes, but it is downward sloping. Starts from up and going down. Right? And all follows the law of demand. Understand?
I understand, sir. But
So you
just
guys know how to make graph? Everybody knows how to make a graph? Let's talk about this.
By making the price and quantity, yeah?
Yeah. So I would be also giving you today's class participation. how to make a graph so that I know that you are able to draw the graph. So the conclusion is that individual demand and supply, we already talked about that, but the market demand curve is that how much a good all buyers are willing and able to buy at each possible price. So in that case, in the market, first we define the market, which means all buyers, and then demand, willingness and ability, right, at a possible price. So a market demand curve shows you that how in the market all the buyers want to and able to, which means are willingly want to buy or have the ability, have the money, have the means to buy that product at the possible price. Right, guys? Okay, well done. So if you understand this, how to make a graph, please take out a page, make this graph. And don't forget to write your name and student ID. You can use ePen like I'm using that one. You can also take a picture. You can draw through ePen if you have a pencil, and you can use a pen as well. So you have.
I can do it on the book, okay, on the paper, right?
If you have the ePen, you can do that.
Yep.
On a whiteboard on your screen, and you can send the screenshot. If you don't have, you can use a pen, paper, take a picture, send it to the group. This is group, not the personal, not the assignment. Okay, you send it to the group. You have a maximum 10 minutes to do that. So meanwhile, I pause the recording here. Okay, so did you notice something that it is downward sloping, right? I saw your photos. So it's pretty much okay. Yes, everybody knows that. Except for Amar, you made a little bit mistake, but I think you know the concept. So it is like this, downward sloping. Good. So let's have a coffee break for 10 minutes, and then we start from here. Okay, guys, welcome back after a short break. So before the break, we were studying, we were having a class activity in which we just learned about that. The demand is basically downward sloping, and we also prove it through our graphs. And now a little bit more advanced part. So we know that demand is downward sloping, right? So question arises, it always stays the same or it changes the shape? It become like this, or whether we have to make another demand curve, right? So demand curve, the change in demand curve is basically caused by two